Hey guys, it's Tiny Tom Logan back with a blank screen for you. And the introduction is going to be very much in reference to the Croods. Have you seen it? If you haven't, why not? Anyway, Dan. It's arrived! We've finally got the Maximus 7 formula from Republic of Gamers. And it does happen to have a full Watch Dogs game inside as well. Ooh, I may have to scratch this off and then give it away to someone. Keep your eyes on the TTL Facebook. Anyways, right. This is what a lot of you have been waiting for. And to be perfectly honest with you, last time around, the formula was the sweet spot in the Republic of Gamers range as far as I'm concerned. And I'm very, very excited to see what we have inside. Now, it's only arrived today, and I do mean within the last kind of 60 minutes. I've taken some photos of it, I've read up on the reviewer's guide, and I'm shooting a video now. Now, I may start testing tomorrow because it's quite late in the day today, which probably means that you're going to be waiting over a week for the review, because obviously I have a lot more to do than just smash out some tests. I've got to redo it all in the video and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, are you bored with me talking yet? And do you want me to? Oh, upskirt shot. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we'll have a look around the back, because there's a lot of mumbo jumbo, there's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of specs and all that kind of stuff to get across. And in fact, what I may do is show you some slides so that you can see all that stuff. Okay then peeps, so this is the slide that really matters. This is pretty much everything you could possibly want to know about the board, and it's probably all of the, if you went through this, you'd probably find the stuff that I'm actually going to forget as I'm working my way around the board in the video. So if you want to pause that, that's all of it. And it's also more than I've shown you already in the actual, actually showing you the aesthetics of the board as well. So pause that, and then I won't bother talking you around it, because you can, you're going to be able to read it. You're going to be able to cope with that. And then I will get back to showing you what's actually inside of the box. Okay then, so what I'm going to try and do, even though you've really seen the board already, we'll have a look at some of the stuff that we've got here. Now, cooling solution. Asus was famed before because they had their own, they put barbs in. A lot of people were worried about the alley. And if you have a look, they've got a copper insert in there now, so people were going to go spaz about that again. It was all the trolls really that didn't fully understand all the technical mumbo jumbo with water cooling. And yes, if you have aluminium and copper together, it's a bad thing. Touching, it's a bad thing. In the same loop with a decent coolant, really not a problem. And that was where the, a lot of people kind of thought it was going to be bad. And, oh, what happens if I put a copper barb in this and stuff like that? But the thing is, this is a very hard anodized black aluminium, and there is no worry with galvanic corrosion at all. And do you know what I mean? There was, back in the bygone years, we did have mixes of Ali and copper in the same loops. You only really get the problem if you've got Ali and bare Ali and bare copper touching. If you anodize it, you don't get that issue. So this really isn't as bad as some of the trolls were making out. Essentially, they've kind of got the idea, but they didn't understand everything fully. So if you ever hear anyone saying this is bad and you shouldn't do it, and galvanic corrosion, all that type of shit, they're poorly informed. So poke them in the eye, or put your shiny best steel toe cap boot up their arse and inform them that Tiny Tom Logan said they're a knob. And you can use those exact words as well. Anyway, so audio, they've actually managed to beef up the audio again, and it's one of those ones where it's just like, where are you finding the stuff to do this? We've got Weema film capacitors, 600 ohm headphone amplifier. There's a separate PCB there again. They've got a new studio in there. It's called Supreme FX Formula 2014 as well. And they're saying Gaming Punch and Hi-Fi Excellence. That's a big bloody claim. I can't wait to get this on the SP2500s and see if they can really live up to that. LAN guard is most of this sort of stuff. The Intel Ethernet, the LAN guard, it's all the stuff that we've seen on the other boards. And I'm still not showing you the motherboard. Oh dear. Let's have a look. So, yes, my doorbell just has gone. I'm not going to answer it because I'm working. So, opening this, that was just a wrapper. Who doesn't want that on their door? Enter and do not disturb. I need to put one of these outside my door to stop people ringing the bloody doorbells. So, we've got that. Then we've got the MPCIe. Now this is your Bluetooth and your wireless. Now I'm personally not a fan of these because I'm not very big on the whole wireless and wireless gaming and all that kind of stuff. I'm very much a wired boy or home plugs. But for those of you out there that don't have access to that type of stuff, then you've obviously got this as an option. If you're not going to use it, it's actually focusing behind. If you're not going to use it, then don't fit it and don't bother installing the drivers either. There you go, nice and clear. So yeah, that would be my advice. If you're not going to use it, don't bother fitting it. Don't bother. Yes. Right. So wireless. This also has this handy little. That's your Wi-Fi kind of aerial, so to speak. Again, 2 outputs on it, so you get your and they're normally magnetic, but this one isn't, which is kind of strange. I liked the magnetic ones, but anyway, maybe they've got some reason for that. We've got our quick connectors down the bottom. They can make things really swift. As you can see, look, HDL. Oh, right, if I move this, there we go. Right. Anytime today. There we go. Thank you. It's woken up. So, HD LED, power, reset. Around the other side, speaker, power LED. I think this one is for your, it's for if you have USB pins that are separate, so that could be quite handy as well. We'll go back to it focusing down here. We've got a lovely backplate, and I like the fact that it's like mirrored nickel, or like a smoked nickel finish on that. I actually don't want to get my fingers on it. Also, we've got the nice spongy back, none of those horrible little tabs that kind of go in there. I much prefer these back plates to the horrible original ones. We've got a guide and your manual and all that type of stuff. An SLI fitting, flexible one. I'm surprised it's not got a crossfire bridge in there. I think personally it's probably missing from the box. And then we have a range of SATA 6 cables. So we have that. I need people to shout at the screen now. Do you think that you've deserved or earned a look at the board as he throws it and it falls out the box? Yes. Ever the professional. There we go. Boom, boom. Yes. It does look very similar to the last one. But some slight changes as well. But still, the ultimate Smeks appeal. I actually, the armour, they do say that you can, it was something that there was always that, I don't know whether you can or you can't. You can paint it if you want to. It's just that if you are a mate, you just take it off and you say that I painted it. I've asked many times, and yes, you can. But there we go. Oh, it does look so nice. I actually really like this little cutout. I'm hoping, I know it hasn't, but it would be nice if they had 4 little red LEDs in this corner. So here's an idea for you modders out there. Power's down here. The red LEDs up here to light your heatsink up. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm brain farting because I actually really like this board. Like I said, I like the last one. I like this one. Now you can see the copper inside there. Now you've got the copper channel, and then you've got some like the little fingers as it goes across. They reckon that you can get your MOSFET temperatures dropped with water by up to 23 degrees, which is a fairly, large yomp. You can see those gold topped Asus chokes in there, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Some of the other boards do have a lot more chokes, but I have to admit it's not really made a great deal of difference with the overclocking performance that I've had out of any of the CPUs. So I really wouldn't worry about the choke amount. I'm just throwing boxes out the way so that we know what's going on. And then don't forget, if you want to go back to this, because this is the kind of bit that I'm going down to, but we've got the Supreme FX. That's all down here. That's all your separate audio. There is a lit up PCB bit underneath. It does come out the bottom a little bit as well. But on the notes, it's saying Supreme FX shielding technology, Cirrus Logic CS4398 DAC, WIMA film capacitors, Texas Instruments LM4562 amp, ELNA premium audio capacitors, Sonic Soundstage, Sonic Sense amp, and Sonic Studio. So they've beefed the audio up again on with onboard audio. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. Now we go around the back, we can see we've got the a couple of the switch buttons around the back. So we've got I can never remember what the little link one is for. It's basically for when you have the little Asus linky thing. We've also got the BIOS refresh switch around the back. PS2, still very handy. 2 USB 2s. Then we've got digital audio, HDMI, full-size DisplayPort, 6 USB 3s, Intel gigabit Ethernet, and then your audio out. And the audio out does have gold plated pickups on the inside as well, which is a nice touch. Also, as we can see, that we've obviously got the armor and stuff, and your MOSFET heatsinks all underneath. Power at the top, you've got the 8+2. Now fan headers, we could rinse our way around all the fan headers, but we'll save that for in a minute. We'll stay up here for the minute. We've got LCD poster for fault finding. These are voltage checkpoints. You have the ground one at the end, and then you've got all of the other ones where are the positives. You've got PCH, IO, IOA, VCore, so you can do it with a multimeter, but you do have to hold them in place. Start and reset. USB 3 over here hidden. Be quite interesting to find out if that's easy to get in and out. Down here we have 10 SATA 6 ports, or you can just have 6 normal ones and 2 SATA Express. It's the first board that I've seen with 2 SATA Express ports on it. When we get down the bottom, we've got the keyboard button down here where you can obviously set the F numbers on your keyboards to do all different things, and they're manually set, you can do those. USB out. With another fan port down here. That's your BIOS chip. There's another fan port. But let's go round and do the fans now. We seem to be talking about it. Right. Channel fan 2B is there. Then we've got CPU fan and CPU optional fan there. Over here, there's channel fan 3, I think that's 3A and 3B, I believe that says. Then down here, we've got channel fan 1A. Channel fan 1B. So is there any more? There we go. Yeah, channel fan 2A is there, and that's where 2B is. Up here as well, that's where you put your PCI Express for your wireless and all that type of stuff. There's a PCI Express 1 at the top. This could be good for one of the small sound cards if you run a sound card, but I never like covering the top of my graphics card up. But it also makes that the first PCI Express is 1 slot down, which means you could, if you were mad enough to buy one of them, put in an HD15 on the CPU. You can just see the Maximus 7 Formula logo through there. We've got 1, 2, and then a third one. So there's got 1, 2, 3 slots between the PCI Express, which is good because that means if you've got a dual slot card, it will sit just about there, which means you'll get that slot before your next graphics card. If you've got a triple slot graphics card, although they seem to be getting phased out, then obviously they'll be sandwiched up together. But this is a very good SLI kind of layout. And then there's only one more PCI Express full-sized one, and that's right at the very bottom, and there's only 1 slot between that. So you can still triple SLI, triple Crossfire if you want, But looking, which is why I'm tilting the board around, you can see that this is wired 8 times, that's wired 8 times, and this is wired 16 times. This will light up red, and as far as I'm aware, that bit's going to light up red, and then you've got the red that will be hidden underneath here because of the Supreme FX. But the bit that I've been really coy about doing as well is the armours back as well. You've got, and it adds an immense amount of weight. And I said this last time, and I will say it again, it's almost a shame that this is practically going to be hidden, because it almost makes me want to have like pretty much almost like just have strips where the motherboard gets bolted in, and then you make a feature out of all of this. I really do think it's a shame, but it does mean that it's got some weight. It's going to stay very, very rigid, and I love it. I really do like it. It does make me just want to do all kinds of modding stuff. It's literally got my modding glands drooling all over it. But anyway, so that's that. There's the old looks and everything. What we'll do is I'll go with a really up close look around for you. In fact, I'm going to stay down here and I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to try and do it like this. So you're going to get a good all around look. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that. No, back up a little bit, camera, thank you. Right, apologies. Right, so we'll work our way around just so that you can have a proper, there's the memo K button, look. We'll work our way along really slowly so that you're going to get the proper high def look at all of everything. You can even see the pattern on the MOSFET heatsink there, look. There we go. And before I go back down, we'll have a look all the way around here. You can see those gold top chokes and then the caps in front of them. It's a proper up close look, this is. It's macro heaven. Talking of macro, whoop. Don't really need to look at the PCI slots too much, so we'll get down the bottom near the Supreme FX. In fact, what it does have as well, which we're just coming down, you've got the ROG external connector. So that does mean that you can wire it up to the ROG front base. I've got that in the graphics card test rig. Got some thermal sensors down here that we can see where we're fully zoomed in. Round to have a look at the SATAs. Another look at that external USB 3. 24 pin, and then you've also got, that I've noticed, the bug LEDs as well, because they will, there we go, they will light up as it's posting. It's actually an addition to this. You can learn a lot when you watch these flashing up as it's starting to post. But anyway, so that's it. This is our first look at the Maximus Z97 7 formula. M7F is what I generally call them, I abbreviate them. So the M7S Maximus 7 formula, Z97 chipset, all the ROG love, and there we go. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to click through to the article on the Overclock 3D website. Don't forget to let me know what you think in the comments underneath, Facebook, all that jazz on the forums. I want to know. And anyway, it's time for me to go and build this, because I need to fap over how good it's going to look when I dangle some GTX 780 Ti matrices out of it.